The Torah, the Bible, tells us many things that we have to do. The 10 Commandments, for instance, 10 instructions of what you have to do, how you have to behave. Why do you have to behave in a certain way? We don't know the why. The why God knows. What we can know are what are the consequences. What happens when you live a certain way? The Torah says, honor your father and your mother. Well, lately I have met people, one in particular, he told me he had a very bad father. I never thought that possible. A bad father, well, abandoned the family, never supported them. And here, the Torah says you have to honor him. I'm not used to that. The circles that I usually have relations with, social relations, what have you, fathers are responsible, but there are fathers that are not responsible. Yet, the Torah says you have to honor your father. I have children, grandchildren. I'm already at an advanced age. My parents aren't alive anymore. But when my children were very young, my parents were alive. So when they saw how I treated my parents, they were learning how to treat me later on. This is the consequence of doing something. You know, the Torah says, "Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha." You have to love your neighbor as yourself. Very difficult to do. But when you do it, maybe you'll get love. Retribution also. The other one also has the obligation, "Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha," to love your neighbor as yourself. What I'm saying is that your behavior has consequences. I don't know what the reason for the dictates of the Torah are. That is God's province. But I do know what are the effects, what happens when you follow in a certain path. So think about today, you know, it's a world in which everybody thinks about himself, what is best for him, happiness, welfare, comfort for himself. But think about it. When you think only about yourself, you're not doing the right thing. You have to think about others as well. Then others will think about you also. It is actually a boomerang. When I do something good will happen to me as well. So I say to you, I don't know what the reason is for observing certain things. God created the world in 6 days and ordered the seventh day, no work. Stop working. Why did God order that? I don't know. But on the other hand, I know what the effect is. So humanity likes that very much. As a matter of fact, we only work in many countries only 5 days a week. And some people are thinking maybe we should go into 4-day a week working. You know, before the Torah was given, people thought you were born either to be the boss or to be the worker. If you're supposed to work 7 days a week, why not? If you're born as a boss, then you don't have to work. You don't work any day. Well, that's what happened in those days. But the Torah tells you something altogether different. Why the Torah tells you that? I am telling you again, I don't know why. According to Jewish tradition, you cannot eat the meat of every animal. Some animals yes, some animals no. Why? I don't know. But on the other hand, I know what the consequences are. I simply can't take just anything. I have to be conscious, maybe, that something had to die for me to eat meat. So be careful about it. Don't be so light-handed about it. Be conscious of that. In other words, I am not too sure why certain laws were given, but I do know what some of the effects are. It teaches you self-control, which is very important. You should be the Lord over yourself and not the subject of desires and passions that take you through any path. You should be able to decide what direction you will conduct yourself, what path you're going to choose in this world. So I repeat, I don't know the reason, the original reason why certain laws were given, but I do know what their effects are. And their effects are very beneficial for the human being.